So what we've done is try and do 80 to 90% of that work for you using data services. So what data services actually provide is actually all this stuff is done for you. So it flags the changes, it maintains the data for you, it sends a list of those changes to the data service on the middle tier, and messages. And then what you can do, when those messages arrive at the middle tier, you use whatever framework, whatever mechanism you like to actually take care of the persistence of that to your back-end data store. So it could be Hibernate, it could be JDBC, it could be Fusion, and so on. So what the data services does is it deserializes the list of data coming from the client, with messages coming out from the client, and then passes them out to the adapter, and then vice versa. Information comes down to the server. So the other thing it does is that it will identify conflicts for you, and then there is basically a very rich API which you can program against to say, right, if a conflict happens, what do I want to do? So in terms of a sort of simple example, it could be client B sends information to the data service that's mapped onto some DAO implementation, and then the other benefit can be that because we've already seen how messaging works by changing data in one client, it can automatically be reflected in another client. You can use that same functionality. So as you enter data into a data grid or form in one browser, that actually can be reflected in another client that's also looking at the same data. So it's actually the potential for conflicts is reduced. So let's see a little demo of that. So here I've got a simple data service demo, which I will pop up in that browser, and then so in this front browser here, I'm going to get some data. Again, it's the same old data that we've been working with here as well. And if I make these so that you can see them on two screen. Kind of need two projectors really for all these double screen demos. But so here the price for this Nokia here is £99. So I'm going to make this. I'm going to give us a big slashing price, $49.99, cheap half the price. So as I enter that, you'll see, hopefully you saw the price is now reflected over here, it's $49.99. So again, as we change the data, that changes very simply. If we look at the code for that example, that's all that's required to actually implement that. So again, what we're doing here, instead of using HTTP service, web service, or remote object, which we've seen, we now use data services as a mechanism to get data. It's got an ID, and again, it's got a destination, which is the same destination we've already seen in product. Again, maps onto environment. So I can show you that really quickly. So if we look at the data management config, there's the product channel. It's implementing Java DAO, and it's mapped onto this assembler class. Basically, this assembler class is all you need to actually build. So if I open up this assembler class, you can see that all you need to do is implement the various methods. So fill, for example, maps onto this other class here, product service, and calls get products. So if I look at product service, Java class, get products, here it is again, the selection from the database. Again, you could integration spring on the front ones. So that's how we do that. If I bring up my little Hibernate example as well, we can show how this is also if I delete that one. So this is an application we've already seen. What I can quickly do is just show you how that's actually mapped onto Hibernate. So that's this application here. Again. So again, this is using the same data services map, but this time it's using different destination hibernate product. So if we look at my data management for that destination, then you can see that this is mapped to this assembler which we actually provide box. So this is Flex Data Assemblers Hibernate Assembler. And that is configured using your Hibernate CFG XML, which I can guarantee you will understand in more detail than I do. But basically, what this allows me to do is to map on to my various Hibernate definition files. So the product definition file, which I can show you here. Again, that's pretty simple. Basically, it maps onto the product class with all the associated properties, and then that's basically the query. So all products from product. So that's all you need to implement in your Hibernate environment, and then you can run exactly the same type of application. So here, for example, I can go ahead and create a new environment, test. So while that changes, you see now that that's actually implemented. If I go back to my inventory with the same data, you can see there's the one we just added. I'm just going to bring up this simple example here. You'll notice that as I change these prices, I'm going to $79, but that's immediately reflected in this other layer. Now, some of you may be thinking, I don't want my application to behave like that. The reason that happens is that's actually the auto commit is set for this particular application, but you can set auto commit to false, which just turns that functionality off. And then what you do is programmatically control when a user actually, when that data is actually committed to the back end. So that's pretty simple. So that was data services, and what I wanted to, before I wrap up, to spend another sort of 5-10 minutes talking about Apollo. Has anybody heard of Apollo? Yeah? Got one person nodded. Yeah, it's just in alpha. Rather than go through the slides for it, I'm just going to show you some examples. I will just bring this up. Basically what we've done, what is Apollo? Well, what we did is we built some next generation of runtime environment, a new runtime from Adobe, which actually combines Flash Player as a virtual machine with a fully featured browser, which is actually the WebKit browser. And we've done that to bundle those applications together so that we can actually deliver Richardson applications on desktop, so outside the context of the browser. So probably the best way to illustrate this is to show you some examples. Just going to close all this stuff down. So here you'll notice I've got this whole collection of icons on this site here. These are actually installed Apollo applications. So when I install these applications, and I'll show you an example of that in a moment, this deploys an application on my desktop that's running in the Apollo browser. So you see this is actually a lot of desktop. You see it's got the desktop system Chrome, so all the browser Chrome is gone. Even though this is actually a web-aware application, it's just pulling blog information from the Adobe site. This is a simple Apollo application delivered to desktop. And we can go further. We can actually do little integrations between HTML content and content that's built in Flex. So here you can see the good old Google Maps running again. All the browser Chrome is gone, but this is HTML content running here. But actually, everything is rendered. We render in the same pipeline, so the same rendering pipeline. So as I bring this piece of Flex content over the top, you can see the alpha transparency is available, and I can do things like drop on the work address here. And these are actually V cards that are installed locally on my desktop. my file system. So this application, because it's installed as a desktop application, it's outside of the sandbox security model of the browser, and actually opens up new APIs. So we can actually, there is a file system API and so on, and I can actually drag out, I can change its home address as well, and you can see there it plots the details between the two. So it starts to enable a new breed of application. So has anybody come across a service called Fine-Tune? That's a no then. Fine-Tune is a Web 2.0 application, which you would see fine-tune.com, and basically it's a media streaming site where you can go manage your playlists. And then he's playing, it's incredibly quiet. I don't think you can hear it, but you can manage to play this online. And then what they've actually done is they've built this little Apollo application which allows them to take that same service, and rather than have a browser and navigate to the website, you can just have this little desktop application which can be minimized down to your application tray. You're permanently logged in, and you can just start streaming music. And you see you can all rich control and manage your playlists and your favourite artists and stuff. So they're starting to now, they've broken outside the browser and delivering new applications. So those are the types of things we can deliver with Apollo. And this is kind of a fine example as well. This is a new way in which to browse the web, which may or may not be the best. But we saw the book control right at the start where we had the anatomy. These are web pages which we can apply that sort of flex control to. So even though this is straightforward HTML content, I can prove it to life, click on entertainment here, you can see little changes. We can actually switch pages to and from. We can add a new page, it would give me an error, and it doesn't work. So I can that brings it to that page as well. Now what we're actually not doing is replacing the browser. The browser is still going to be there, it's still going to be the way in which people deliver friction to applications, but the advantage that Apollo gives is it allows you to build that new breed of applications where you want to go outside the context of the browser. That might be because you want to get rid of browser Chrome and deliver a service that's branded as yours. It might be because you want to interact with the desktop, you want to do drag and drop between the desktop, you want to do copy and paste between the clipboard and so on. It might be that you've got an application that is occasionally connected. So you've got a local data store, some little MySQL database which you want to build a Flex front end on, and then actually use Flex data services to actually synchronize when you are online. And Flex data services provide support for that. There's a full API for detecting whether you're online, offline, and then doing synchronization of applications and so on. So just really quickly, just for the last one of the things that we can do is, I've got this Flex Store application here. I just want to show you how very simple it is to build your first Apollo application. Again, the development environment for Apollo is Eclipse again. Using Flex Builder, we extend Flex Builder. This is a little product selector, building Flex. And the idea here is I can specify my price, for example, and then I say I've got to have tried out. And you can see how we navigate around and provide a fluid interface for this little application. And then I can see the details. I can compare. You can do drag and drop inside Flex applications and so on. Drop these things in and compare and so on. It's a nice little application. What I can do is I go back into my Flex development environment here, Flex Builder. I can open up this Apollo project. So rather than being a Flex project, it's an Apollo project. I open up Flex Store, and I had to change two things. I had to change, actually three things. I had to put the word Apollo in front of the application tag there, and of course the terminating tag as well. That's the two things we need to change there. The other thing that all applications have is they have an application descriptor, which specifies what's going to be said during installation, what window Chrome looks like, and so on. And basically, I needed to fill out the properties of this, so I've given it name, and then down here, where is it? Here, so system Chrome, standard, and so on. So all I have to do is you run this. And you can see exactly the same application now opens up outside the context of the browser in a little Flex application. Now, what's important to stress is that you don't need Flex skills, Flex skills, ActionScript skills to write follow-up applications. You can write follow-up applications in HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and again deploy to desktop. However, if you want to use both, then you certainly can do it. You can actually cross-script very easy between the DOM and JavaScript in the HTML world, and actually ActionScript controls in Flex. So really, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a taster.
What do you need to install when you run it?
All you need to install is a new runtime. So just like you download and install Flash Player, or you download and install the PDF Reader, for example, there's a new freely deployable runtime. It's in alpha at the moment, as you correctly point out. Beta is going to be a little bit later this year, and then probably going live this year, but don't hold me to that. The date's not being published, but it's in alpha now. It's a runtime environment you download. The current size is somewhere between 5 and 8 meg. I can't remember the details. Download that. That's a one-off download. Once the client has got that new runtime environment, then they can just access. Go to your website. You use a file with .air extension. Apollo integrated runtime. I think it stands for. At least that's what it stands for at the moment. And then you download that file, that installs the application onto your desktop, gives you a little desktop shortcut, and that's it. There we go. So all the stuff I've shown, this is basically going to wrap up now. All the stuff that I've shown here can be accessed at these sites. I guess what I'll do is send an email to
yeah, send an email.
I'll wrap up all these slides and I'll put them to you. And you've got an area where you can post them. But basically, let me just run through these really quick. So, if anybody's got any questions, following this session, just ping me an email. Forsaith@adobe.com. Demo.adobe.com/flex kind of shows you a lot of the examples I've shown are actually posted there. But also a lot of our customer sites are there. So, Yahoo, Maps is Flex, so you're actually done the phone later, Amsterdam Airport, the whole series of stuff there. If you want to download trial software, then you can get it from those sites there. You can get Apollo from those sites as well. But actually, what I've actually got, and you've actually got a pretty good chance of winning. I have actually brought in two fully featured copies of Flex Builder with charting, and some training DVDs that go with them as well. And I've run a very simple competition which you can win. If you want to install it and play with it, that's great, and we'd love you to start building Flex applications. If you want to follow on eBay, well, it retails for about £400, so I'm sure you can get some good stuff. So I've basically got two questions. You're going to adjudicate on which hand goes up first. They're pretty simple questions, but whoever's hand goes up first gets the correct answer as printed on my slide. Will win. So question one is, okay, Tamarind is correct. Well done. You're not eligible to enter the second round. Have a copy of Flex Builder and Flex Charting. Congratulations. Second question is also.
And who won was Jacob? Adam.
Oh, actually, I should point out. That's a Mac version. Is that okay? Or do you need a PC version? If you need a PC version, then give me a call and I'll and I'll send it to you.
Well, that's been buying Mac last time, so should be right.
You're buying Mac in a month's time? So you can
Well, I think we have a new version of Mac, right?
right. Yeah, right. So if you happen to stick with Mac, that's great. If you want a Windows copy, then I'll post it to you. So
Give it to me. That's
yeah. Right. Question two. Question two. Very good. Have to be listening. Have to be listening. So when I built the application, I bound the results of my data grid to something, and I used something. Okay. Well, actually, I'll tell you what. If nobody's got it, I'll save that copy then for maybe some future date when I come back.
Yeah.
So just for your information, it was coded braces. There you go. Great. Cool. So there we go. So it's an incentive to come to a repeat session. We'll do. So there's a lot coming out later this year. So if we do a session maybe back in this year, maybe
we could do something.
yeah, absolutely.
We'll come back from JAVAWUG or in summer or something like that.
Yeah, sure. Well, there'll be new versions of Pilot, new versions of Flex Builder, there's new versions of Flex Data Services coming out, all with more hooks into Java. So hopefully, so I'm going to wrap up. Hopefully that was useful. Hopefully it's giving you an appetite to at least take a look at Flex and maybe start building some stuff. I'm basically going to stick around for a couple of minutes while you. Have you got any questions?
Any questions in the top?
Licensing.
Yeah.
So you pay for that Eclipse plugin, if you like. What about distribution or applications built?
Right.
On Android?
Yeah. Okay. So good news is that Flash Player is completely free. The Flex SDK is completely free, so you can build Flex applications and deploy them for free. And if 1,000 people come to your site and work with your Flex application, then that's completely free. What's then available is Flex Data Services, and there is actually a product called Flex Data Services Express, which is also free, but that's restricted. So you can basically use Flex Data Services Express and use all the data, all the messaging infrastructure that I showed, the messaging service that I showed, and the data synchronization service and so on. Again, you can use all that for free, but that is, you can deploy that only on a single CPU. So a small application for a few users that deploy only on a single CPU. That's the restriction. Then in terms of actually, how does Adobe make some money from this? Well, there's the Flex Builder tool. So retails is to say about £400 or £450, something like that. So that's that's the Eclipse plugin, and that's where we're investing a lot to make it easy to build Flex applications and so on. And then if you need to deploy the Flex Data Services, the server-side piece, on a larger scale, again, that's where we make money. So this is per CPU charge for a departmental product, and then there's an enterprise class product. The departmental one again is restricted to 100 concurrent users, and then the enterprise model is you can cluster it as many times as you want. Again, the bigger cluster as you like, as many concurrent users as you can throw out. And that's the way that we license it. A lot of the other stuff that I showed, so the Spring integration library, the Flex Ajax Bridge components that show, the Flex data services for Ajax. Again, a lot of all that client-side code is all open source and it's made available on labs.adobe.com. So if you check out labs.adobe.com, that's where we publish most of this stuff. In terms of Apollo, again, the client runtime is completely free, and again, Adobe will make some money out of the plugin to Eclipse, by basically extending Flex Builder to support other applications. But again, you can write other applications in HTML, JavaScript, and Flex data services are relevant to Apollo is the influence, push real data, real live data into your Apollo desktop application.